if you don't have a fantasy, the chances are you probably do. But how do we share those fantasies with our partner or our spouse? Because sometimes we may feel embarrassed, or we really don't know how to go about sharing, these erotic fantasies we may have. So I'm going to give you 4 steps. So when I give you these 4 steps, it's really important to take your time, and if you want to even get a piece of paper to jot them down, you can go ahead and do that. So step number 1, you want to find a safe place. Now this is a place where you and your partner feel comfortable, and it's a place where you can lock the door, there's no interruption with kids, you've all turned your cell phones off. And this is very important that you provide this very safe space, because you're going to be opening up to one another. You're going to be sharing things that are private that maybe you've never told anyone in the world. So put the cell phones away, lock the door, and make sure that it's comfortable. Have some pillows around if you want, if you're doing it in your bedroom. You definitely don't want to have this conversation when you're out to dinner or you're in public. So if it's not your bedroom, maybe you're having this conversation in your living room. But again, make sure that it's a safe, comfortable space where if one of you starts to feel uncomfortable, you know that you're kind of protected in that area. Number 2 is permission. Now, what is permission? Permission is giving each other the space where you're going to be doing some active listening, and most important, where you're not going to be judging the other person. Judgment is the one thing that will stop somebody from really telling you maybe a secret fantasy that they have, because they feel shame and judgment around it. So you don't want the person to be afraid when they're exposing this very secret part of themselves to you. You want to make sure that you also give them time to say what they're saying. So no judgment is so important. Don't speak over each other, and show that you're actively listening. And you can do this by nodding your head or maybe repeating something back, but you want to just create this idea that you're going to be telling each other something really important, and the other person is not going to judge you for doing it. Step number 3. Whoa, you want to ease into it. Don't come out with some fantasy that you have that you think your partner may freak out about. Okay, this is really important, because sometimes you may have this fantasy going on in your head all the time, so it's really familiar to you, but your partner may have no idea that you've been thinking about this. So you want to be aware of how they're responding to what you're saying. So when I say take it slow, maybe throw out a little bit of your fantasy, see how they're reacting, and also be respectful when you're talking about your fantasy. Remember, this is something that's supposed to be intimate between the two of you. So you're not going to want to say, oh, this really hot girl at the gym, that's what I'm fantasizing about. Or this really cute guy that I saw at the store. So you want to keep it more in the framework of inclusiveness. So you want to include your partner in the fantasy. So it could be, oh, I really am interested in seeing you dressed up in that really hot outfit. That really turns me on. And that might be a way to kind of ease into your fantasy, as opposed to making them not feel comfortable, as well as not freaking them out. And the most important thing is, have fun. Sharing your fantasies should be a really fun, special time for you and your partner. So step number 4, we're going to be creating the fantasy. Now I'm going to help you with this, and you can do this at home right now with me, and then try it with your partner later tonight. So what I want you to all do is get comfortable. Okay. Now I want you to close your eyes and picture yourself in this long corridor. And in this corridor, you're going to see doors on each side. And these doors can be whatever color you want, whatever you imagine. So it's a place that you feel comfortable in, that makes you feel safe, but you know you're going to be having a good time in this space. So what you're going to do is you're going to open one of the doors, and we're always just going to start with one door at a time. And behind this door will be a scene where you're either going to be involved in the fantasy or you're simply watching the fantasy going on. And this is how you begin to develop fantasies. Even if you don't have one, this is a great tool to kind of start having one. And then once you're done with door number one, you and your partner can talk about it. And then you continue to go from there. See how easy this was? Now, I want you to try it at home, and you can report back to me on Facebook, Instagram, and keep the conversation going. I want to know how it worked for you.